like, dude, I'm on a situation. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hey.
Yo.
Hey, did you tell everybody else to dress up or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Because they're not gonna be dressed up neither. So
I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I didn't want to be just sitting there with you, seeing how we ain't do Three Kings today. So all right, hold on 1 second. Let me I gotta finish this call up and then I'll be right back. But I'm right here.
Yeah. Where is everybody though?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I sent it to you and Matt. I don't have everybody's email.
Right. Matt sent it to everybody on email. I mean on text message.
Okay.
It came up on my thing. So yeah, I'll figure it out. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. What's going on, Matt? What's going on, Mac? We're just waiting on a few people to jump on.
Hey man, how are you today? I'm sorry I didn't hear that. I don't think I had my audio on, but you know, I'm gonna catch this Sugar Ray, I'm gonna catch this meeting ID and go to my laptop if that's cool.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. So hang on.
Sugar Ray.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me send I'm just gonna say we're on.
There you go. You're in there now. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting Facebook ready, but I don't want to go too soon because then,
Right.
you know, you tag everybody and it gets rid of, it'll time out.
Good morning and happy Sunday, gentlemen.
Hey.
Right? Yeah, I just took a Sunday nap. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, good afternoon to you too, sir.
Yeah, and I'm having an espresso, so I think it's morning. That's what it is.
Yeah, no, happy Sunday, man. Happy Sunday. Here comes Matt.
Yeah, you guys ought to come be on my Real Estate U show one Saturday.
I'd love to.
Yeah. Hashtag Real Estate U, and let me get your contact info, and we'll have you on.
All right, I'll send it to you in the chat right now. I just put it in the chat right now.
You know E.L. Crane, don't you?
Who?
E.L. Crane?
I was on this show before. Yes.
Yeah, you need to come on our show again.
He was a part of my Guinness World Record event as well.
Yeah, I believe that. He's the host. Yeah, he's the driving force behind the show. He's a good guy.
Matt, what's up, baby?
What's up?
You all right, man?
Yeah, look, my hair's getting great. Oh, look at all that.
Hey, I have somebody's number I can give to you to take care of that for you. Trust me, I've been taking for 15 years now. I'm not doing gray.
The 2020
For the beard, right?
2020, man, it takes it out of you. I'll tell you that.
You wait.
I thought you was gonna say it was because of the pressure of the book, baby. I was like, come on, man. We didn't give you gray hair, did we, Matt?
That's just a little piece of it, but I think my hair gets gray actually after the stress stops. Like when the stress gets lifted off, the hair's like, okay, we can become gray now.
All right.
Billy's saying the link's not working, but the link worked for me.
So Mortgage Mac, I got the I sent the
Got it.
in the chat.
Got it.
Did anybody else have a problem with the link? Mac, did you have a problem with the link?
I did not.
Okay.
Sugar Ray, I'd love to catch your contact info too.
Definitely. I'll put it in the chat as well.
Please, thank you.
I'm trying to get everybody tagged before.
I feel like I hear Morse code or something in the background, like real faint, like.
You say Morse code.
Yeah, I hear like this little undertone noise in the background, and maybe because I have my earphones on, maybe it's not coming out of you guys' speakers, but I hear something going.
Yeah, I don't hear anything, Mac or Nolan.
Yeah.
I just tagged everybody in a post on LinkedIn, so because everybody's been blowing up Facebook, so I thought I'll do my original post on that.
Did you just did you tag me too?
I did. The only person I couldn't tag was Kaylee. He hasn't accepted my friend request. I don't know.
Hey, Billy said he's waiting to be let in.
Okay, and I'm getting ready to share it to Facebook. That way we can
Are we going live? Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to go live shortly. I had to get everything set up. So once it's live, it'll have everybody tagged in it. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
Then.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Once again, it is 3 o'clock, a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So y'all know what this is. It's another episode of Book Talk Live. Today I am joined by some phenomenal gentlemen who recently went #1 in multiple categories on Amazon here in the US in the business sector. They have an amazing book, and we'll be talking with them today. How y'all doing today, gentlemen?
What's going on, Shug?
Great.
Absolutely. Listen, I know that everybody, the other authors are still jumping in, trying to get their bearings. So we'll go ahead and give them a few moments to get in here with us, and give them a few moments to get in with us. So before we even get started, I want to introduce everybody. If y'all can go around and just give me a brief introduction, tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, and then we'll jump in to talking about the book in a moment.
Yeah. My name is Matt Bertram. I'm the CEO of EWR Digital. We're a digital agency based out of Houston. We've been around 20 years. I'm also the co-host of Unknown Secrets, actually, unknown, not best known, but Unknown Secrets, Internet Marketing, and the Houston Business Podcast presented by the BBB. Also, I've written a previous book called Build Your Brand Mania, and really kind of this book was kind of the compilation of like the learning that we did in launching the book and meeting some phenomenal authors, well, actually not authors, but influencers in the Houston area that had other podcasts, that had huge followings, that were very active in the community. and really had something to offer. And we thought it'd be a great idea to bring them all together. And so I got some of these all-stars on the call right now. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the book is definitely.
They should. Right. He straight froze. He straight froze. So you
all right,
know,
Nolan, you take over. You take over.
Right, I was just about to say, let me go on and do what I do, seeing how he froze up. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nolan Davis. Out here been knowing Matt for a long time, been knowing Billy even longer. I've actually known Billy for over a decade. Billy, here's a fun fact. Billy was the first model on the Perfect Gentleman TV show, actually that ran on TV. So I've been knowing Billy for a long time. Chris Burris, another one of the authors, was my co-host on Up Social Network. And that's how I met Matt. So for me, it was not really me being introduced to a lot of new people. It was really all of our friends that we already knew, love, and trust, and admired each other in their superpowers from that standpoint, to literally, it's kind of like when you play basketball, right? When you're one of the best basketball players in your state, you play against all the other best basketball players. And before you know it, everybody goes to college. Then before you know it, everybody hits the NBA. And that's how I feel with all the people that's on here, is that when we all was hungry and we had ideas and we were trying to figure out how to make it work, we were all friends already, for me at least. Because right. So for me at least, that's how I looked at it. So me doing everything I've done, from Guinness World Record holder to having a proclamation of Nolan Davis Day in the city, to this is my third book, Amazon #1 bestseller, to all of these things that I've done and given back to the community. When I was a nobody with nothing but genius ass ideas, these were still my boys. So I love the fact that we was able to take our superpowers, come together, and do something absolutely awesome and amazing. And so as I pass the microphone to the first model of Perfect Gentleman, Billy Bray, there you go.
That's impossible to follow, man. This is.
I'm glad you're going next, Billy.
Yeah, I know. Well, hello to everyone. Sugar Ray, Matt, Mortgage Mac, Nolan, everybody else on the call and listening. It's truly an honor and a blessing to be here. Yesterday was an exciting day for us, and really leading up to today, it's been a really fun experience. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the co-authors. I think Nolan nailed it. There's no way to give a better endorsement or edification to the group of authors that we have. Hats off to Matt for facilitating and leading the charge and bringing us all together. And I really want to second what Nolan said about the evolution of us in our business careers. And the exciting thing is that we still all have a runway ahead of us. And so there's a lot that we're going to do in the future. You know, there's some 30-year-olds and, you know, a handful that are a little bit older, but nobody's retiring next year. I hope not. Nolan makes a lot of money, so he might.
Good recovery.
So anyway, we're the whole idea is to help people. We all have a little niche and discipline, and we're able to bring that together. And so to give 9 nuggets in one book instead of one person just kind of sharing their central thought process in a book is unique. You know, I think that it was said yesterday that the Bible was a culmination of a whole bunch of people's perspectives. Most prolific book, most well-read, and probably the highest selling book ever. By no way are we, you know, trying to correlate the two, but it's just unique, right? It makes for a readership experience that's fun, and you can really relate. Maybe you don't relate to all of us. Maybe you relate to 1 or 2 of us. So that's where the value is. Maybe somebody has a deficiency in their business where Matt could help them because they just don't know digital marketing, or you know, maybe they connect with somebody else better than. It's going to make for a unique reading experience, and there's going to be a lot of great value that comes from it. And I look forward to doing more group projects with this team. Sugar Ray, we appreciate you helping and all the leadership that you had throughout this process as well. And I want to take a second. Nolan Davis, multiple world record holder, multiple best-selling author, and just really a guy that if you meet him, you want to follow him. You want to know what he's doing, and you probably want to be a part of it. And so I would challenge you, Nolan, to take a leadership position in the next venture that we do as a group. Let Matt breathe and relax. You're really good at that. And I challenge you to do that for the team.
I already know what we're going to do. I've already come up with a tour. Like I already came up with the book tour. I just been waiting to say something. I just been waiting. But after yesterday, after when I got all of my boys on the, because y'all my boys, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? The core group of the guys, after we got all together, I already was thinking of a tour and a virtual tour to build up to the real tour until after the COVID. My man got the
I love the vision, right? I love the vision that everybody brings to the table. And really, as I was putting the chapters together, it's really interesting because everybody focuses on a different thing and a different spin on it to get them to where they were. So it's like there's a lot of ways to the top of the mountain, right? And so everybody took a different path. And, you know, when I read books, I look for those little nuggets, and just so many people cram so many nuggets in there that they've learned over the compilation. I mean, reading the books, just like getting a little MBA, right? In like how to build your brand, build your business in today's world. I think it's awesome. I love working with all y'all, and I hate that COVID's making this not be in person, but on a Zoom call. So I can't wait. I think we need to have, like we were talking on text message, we need to have a physical party, man, to celebrate. I see that bottle of champagne right there.
Right. I was waiting for you to finish to say, Billy, where we going with the champagne? What's poppin'?
So since we can't toast in person, I do want to be the first to congratulate all the co-authors and Sugar Ray, everybody that was part of this. I'm gonna go ahead and do a virtual toast to my friends and to all the readers that are either already bought the book. I've had a few people already say, hey, I like this part of your chapter. Like, wow, people are reading this book rapidly. And that's the neat thing about it. You can read it rapidly. So to all the readers out there that have or that are about to read it, I'm gonna pass it to Mortgage Man.
You know, some people said I couldn't download the Kindle. I don't have a Kindle. You can actually watch it. I was reading it on the app, like on the computer. You know what I mean? Like there's like a Kindle app, so you can read it. People are like, I don't have a Kindle. I was like, you can read it, you know? Right. And I mean, we're gonna come out the hardback pretty soon here, so people can have that physical copy because they love that.
Hey, look, before Matt goes, I just want to say, I don't know if y'all noticed, Billy took his head. I thought he was gonna have a glass and be me
too.
I thought you were gonna pop it. Yeah.
That dude popped the bottle and was like, cheers, gentlemen, like straight to the head. I was like, what?
Doing it big.
Let's go,
Go, Mac. Jump in here, Mac. Let's have a conversation here, guys.
Well, you know, guys, I just feel fortunate to be associated with you guys, and you know, and grateful to be here. You know, for me, you know, my journey started just, you know, because life happens, right? And I found it necessary to sort of reinvent myself, and in that process, someone introduced me to, you know, the person that everybody knows, Gary Vee. But I got to tell you, from a practical standpoint, my first mentor was a gentleman by the name of Mark LaCour, who now has the most listened to oil and gas podcast in, I think, the world. And we used to go to the same gym together, and he inspired me to begin to investigate the practicalities of implementing social media and a Facebook Live show into my business. And then, you know, and I heard this crazy acronym called search engine optimization, and I thought, what the hell is that? You know, and my first podcast that I ever listened to specific to that was Matt's.
Nice.
And then I had the audacity, I guess, to invite Freddie Gorgeous and Randall Chestnut to be my friends on LinkedIn, and then, you know, and those guys were mentors as well. You know, Freddie on the LinkedIn platform and Randall specific to Facebook and Facebook Live. I used to have a little Facebook Live show, and just how things evolve sometime. And it was that experience on Facebook Live and the people that I met in that journey that now I'm a guest host on a local real estate radio show and a multimedia show, for which I enjoy doing very, very much with my my host E.L. Crane and co-host Dina Ramos Salazar, and I do that every Saturday live from 11 to 1. So that's kind of where I'm at today, and how I got started was, life just happened, and I had to reinvent myself and reinvent my business after having to take 14 months off, and so here I am, and glad to be here.
Well, Mac, one of the things that you said that has got me started to think, like, really, when I had the idea for this book, because I'm a big like let's partner kind of book, like let's not compete, like let's partner. Let's figure out how we can always work together. I've done that throughout my whole career, and a lot of good things have come out of this. But what I'm realizing is the influence that this group of co-authors has extends far beyond Houston. Okay, like that's what I'm really starting to see is, like, I think we have a really big presence in Houston, all in kind of different areas and different sectors. But again, like Mark LaCour, based here in Houston, right? Our podcast and our client base is all across the U.S., actually North America. We have some in Australia, and it's all being reached through like a virtual platform in a virtual media. And I know Nolan's reached, thousands, millions of people all around the world. And so, I'm just thinking, man, Texas as a whole is becoming a powerhouse, like Elon Musk, right? Come on over, right? I'm hearing more companies come on over, and not just Austin, but Houston is a powerhouse in itself. And I think a lot of people, Houston first, and there's definitely some organizations that are trying to promote it, but we got a lot to offer right here in Houston to the rest of the world, not just to our kind of the fourth biggest city in the country. So.
Yeah. Hey, and one thing that I want to say is I applaud you guys because of the way that you all did connect. And most people look at social media as just this chance to connect with people, to follow and never do anything offline. Y'all actually brought those business tools into one spot. And y'all brought those business connections. Somebody's giving me some bad feedback. So y'all have kind of touched on who y'all are and where y'all are, how y'all partnered, how y'all met up. So salute Matt for really bringing everybody into the fold to get this book done. Can y'all touch on some of your specialties so that people know exactly what you do outside of the book, and that way they know why they need to go and grab this book? Because there are some experts, and I would even say gurus to a certain extent in this book. Just perusing through.
And did we mention the name of the book? I don't know if I think we jumped in. I don't even know if we mentioned it. It's called Rise of the Personal Brand, right? And because in today's climate, how I'm seeing people operate and grow their business in the new world is through personal branding, growing their personal brand and growing their business. And I think that's so Rise of the Personal Brand is the name of the book. You can check it out. It's a guy, the flag standing on top of the hill. It's a pretty good looking cover.
It's a great cover, Matt. It's a great cover, great creativity. Yeah.
And my specialty is SEO. That's what people come to me for. Search engine optimization. We do videography, web design. We're a full service agency, but really people come to us from around the country for our SEO expertise. And, that's what I specialize in. And really what SEO is just like good marketing with some technical stuff, right? So, I think that marketing is key. Online marketing is key in today's world, because you can't as easily meet people on the street. So you have to create a presence online, and that's what we do. So yeah.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? I'm mad that Matt jumped in first, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to play a little bit of a game, because where we are now and where we was before, like when I said when we was playing high school ball, is totally different. I remember when Matt, before he was big in this, as he was getting up and ready for this, I remember him doing coins. I remember where he came from. I remember a whole bunch of stuff. I remember being at Billy Bray's house and he showed me his book, and he had a cookbook when he first had the cookbook. And I was like, dude, Billy is doing big things, right? And so I always felt like I was around people that was doing big things. And so I'm just glad to be like, y'all just don't really understand how glad I am just to be sitting here watching Billy take the bottle to the head again. So anyway, I'm Nolan Davis. The thing that I do, I started my video production company from the ground up. And to really put my video production company out there, I started Up Social Network because I believe that I have a way to relate with people. And so that networking and truly helping each other's business get to the top and not looking at other superheroes like a competition, right? So if Billy is Batman and Matt is Superman, if I'm Aquaman, I wait until it's time for me to go underwater, make the water move, and talk to the fish. Like I'm not upset that Matt is flying around. I'm not upset that Billy is sexy with gadgets. Like, hey, when you call me, I'm ready to do what I do. That's what it is, and I can applaud each person at what they do and stand tall and say, I know the coldest superheroes of Houston. I roll with them. Right. So it's that type of situation. So my thing is literally the creativity and the innovation that I bring. That's why we break Guinness World Records together as a networking group to make it bigger than what it is. And wait till you see what the idea that I got for the rise of your personal brand. I promise you, it's go bust your head, not like with a brick, but like cinder block bust your head. But anyway, so Billy, you can go ahead.
Again, just impossible to follow. But seriously, I think that if you're out there listening, you probably, I'm getting a little bit of chills, not from the champagne, but just from I'm motivated. Like it's Sunday, I'm ready to walk through a brick wall, not by myself, but with this group, with this team, with this partnership that, man, you see why so many people like Nolan and follow him. I mean, he can motivate an ant, seriously.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So I'm Billy Bray. I'm a commercial insurance broker by trade. I run an insurance agency here in Houston, but we're in all 50 states and we're international as well. So we help companies essentially get better insurance. I think everybody would agree that insurance is expensive, it's complicated, and half the time it just doesn't work. So it leaves a lot of people frustrated and upset. I agree with that. I used to work at the big billion-dollar insurance companies. When I met Nolan 15 years ago, I was working at one of those big billion-dollar insurance companies. I moved on to a couple others, realized that there's some things that they do okay. There's a lot of things that they do that frustrate the public, and they're not fair for the consumer. So I said, well, that's not cool. I want to level the playing field for my friends, family, clients, and people that I haven't met yet to deliver value to them. And the correlation that I make in business, and I'll jump into my chapter in a moment, is it's kind of like if you get audited by the IRS, who do you want to hire? You want to hire that CPA that worked at the IRS for 20 years because he knows the inside deal and the scoop to help you go beat them and level the playing field for the little guy, for the small business owner. So that's what I've done in the insurance world. And so we do go beat up against the big bad insurance companies. We do win. I won an audit last week where my client's getting money back when they initially said, you owe us a bunch of money. So we like to throw the gloves off and do things like that professionally. It's all about delivering value, and that leads me into my chapter. Matt asked me to write a chapter on the secrets of selling, and in my chapter, I drop a couple of nuggets about that, and it's really all about value creation for the buyer. So in my industry, which many industries, Matt can relate to this, Matt Bertram can relate to this, it's commoditized. It's like, well, save me 20 cents and I might buy from you. So I look at a different perspective. If you're a professional salesperson, real estate, insurance, mortgages, digital marketing, video services, whatever the case may be, if you sell on price, you live and die by that sword. So what I like to do is help people understand how to create more value. So people naturally come to you and say, I'll pay. And look, you don't have to charge them more just because you deliver more value. That's why I have a pretty loyal following of clients. Is if the price is constant, no matter where you go, but Billy gives you 10x the value and the service, it's a no-brain relationship that they're going to do business with me. And everybody is shaking their head because y'all do this and y'all probably do it better than I do, frankly. But it was just my little part in the book of sales. So sales can have all kinds of different connotations, but when you put me in a sales conversation, it's a positive one. So there's some people that say, hey, I demand a higher price because I give more value. I think I demand just a loyal following because I'm probably going to get you a lower price because I'm going to go beat up that big bad insurance company and tell them why. And then I'm going to give you a service offering that's twice or 3 or 10 times longer than the biggest competitor that I have. And I talk about that in my chapter, not from that's just how I do my business, but I talk about that a little bit and how to serve others, how to come from a perspective of giving before you receive, and these basic principles of sales, whether you're a junior salesperson or the top broker in your company. I left my last company as the top broker out of 400 to start my own because they didn't subscribe to the same school of thought that I'm sharing with you today. So professionally, commercial insurance, I can help you. But in the book, it really talks about sales and delivering the value to the client and how to give them a great experience that's positive and more so sustainable than just a quick transaction, but really the creation of an ongoing long-term business partnership and relationship. And furthermore, I've got a podcast that's called The Millennial Mentor. I think it's only on Anchor right now, but I talk about some of these basic principles as well. So if you want to check that out, I'm pretty sure it's free. It is free, actually. There's just some real basic fundamental principles, especially for the junior salespeople out there. And the book touches on a little bit more advanced topics. So Matt, I appreciate the opportunity. And again, this is a lot of fun. And what we do with this to help the community, not just in Houston, but nationally, like Matt said, I'm really looking forward to the proliferation of not only this book, but our brand as a unit. So I'm happy, humbled, and grateful.
Hey, and let me say that what y'all are offering is, I'm from Houston, so I love the concept of the influencers in Houston getting together and doing this. But y'all aren't just going to touch people nationally. Y'all are going to touch people globally. Even as we speak, there's people that are not in Houston, that are not in the U.S. that are tuning in with us to see. And I definitely say for those of you who are out there watching, Canada, Australia, Europe, other parts of the world, reach out to these guys, because I promise you this book will be one of those next big books to go up against the giants in the industry. They've already hit #1 in multiple categories, so they're just getting started, and you can hear the hunger in each of them about what it is that they do, the passion, the hunger. So yeah, I just want to jump in and say, it's not just, y'all aren't just national. Y'all are getting ready to hit some international waters soon. Yes, sir. Mac.
Yes, Mortgage Mac.
Mortgage Mac.
Hey, I turned 53 this year, and I've been in the mortgage business 27 of those 53 years. So, mortgages is all I know how to do at this stage of my life. And I think that the basis for what I do on a daily basis and the way that I serve the public is I try to put together a transaction the way that I would put it together even for myself. And, I don't know any other way to serve my client than that, to use my 27 years experience to try to structure a transaction and present it in a way that I would want to structure it and that I would want to finance a home. And, primarily, my focus is residential properties for, both first, second, and investment properties. But, I've been a commission-only salesperson since I was 21 years old. And I think in the book, I talk about my first sales position. And, when I had zero experience, man, and, when I applied for this job, and look, I'm a barefooted Louisiana boy that grew up in a trailer park. Okay. And they were paying $1,600 a month. And that was more money than that I thought I could make in my lifetime, right? Plus commissions, man. And, you know, I applied for that job with no experience. And it's funny that I walked in, you know, when I walked into the gentleman's office that was interviewing me, I walked in and I sat down on the couch, and the couch just literally swallowed me. Okay. And I'm really small, and he's sitting over there on the other side of me in this chair with a big black chair with a, you know, that's just enormous. And he's got a dip in his mouth, spitting. And he's a Mississippi boy, and he starts interviewing me, and again, I have zero experience, right? Zero. But I'll underscore that with, I was raised by a grandmother who was just one of those grandmothers that would never go out in public unless, you know, she was, you know, earrings on, makeup on, just, you know, she grew up, you know, she was a Great Depression survivor. But the point I make is that, you know, I'm sitting in this couch, and it's swallowed me up, and all of a sudden he has a second door on the side of his office, and this lady walks in, and when she walks in, I stood up out of that couch that was swallowing me, right? And she starts talking to him, and they're communicating back and forth, and what they said doesn't matter, right? But then he introduces me to her, and she reaches out and shakes my hand. I shake her hand, and she leaves the room, and I sit down. And she was the publisher of the paper, and she was his boss. And he hired me on the spot. And he said, and he used to teach at the local college or the local university, and it was Lamar University. He used to teach a sales class, and he used to tell that story because, you know, when he left the newspaper, we went and had lunch, and he told me the story. He said, "This is why I hired you." And he said, "I figured if you had manners that I could teach you to sell. And if and I would rather teach somebody to sell than try just to hire somebody that can sell that has some manners." And I have to give that credit to having been raised by a grandmother when I was much younger, who was, just one of those Southern belles that, just did everything all prim and proper. And so I credit my first sales position with that story, and the rest is history. So that's it. So I've been a mortgage banker for 27 years, and that's what I do. And that's why I'm Mortgage Mac.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. That's great to see how you all have come from such different, humble, built backgrounds, but you all are still putting in the work, right? Because I think one of the true stories that I see in each of you is the fortitude to continue to persevere, going from step to step and making those major moves, right? For a minute there, I thought Mac was Sean Connery. I was like, wait a minute, he sounds different on the car.
I like that analysis.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump into the book process, man. I'm about to put Matt on the spot for a little bit, because I know, like, I've worked with people, several people to get their books together. You had to work with, and the call yesterday was phenomenal. You all, I can tell, are all alpha A types. Like, let's get it done. Let's move. Let's make this happen. Results only, right? What was the process like for you, putting it together? And then we'll get everybody to jump in.
So, I mean, kind of going back to it, the concept was, kind of after I wrote the first book, and I'm really a nerd, I'm really like a bookworm, and I read a lot of books, and then I try to look at that information and then try to apply it. So a lot of what I do is kind of data science, and I can tell you, I was I wrote this book, and I got a lot of different nuggets, and I saw other people in the industry doing something differently, and I was kind of selfishly going man, what is Nolan doing? How is he doing that? Billy Taylor, y'all are salespeople. I'm a marketer. I don't even have any salespeople at my company, right? So I'm man, I want to learn how to do that. And I knew everybody was really busy. and I was like, man, let me kind of like put it all together and see how everybody grew their personal brand. And knowing that everybody was busy and had other things to do, I kind of outlined what I thought people were good at. We kind of did some brainstorming, and then I set up interviews with everybody on the team, and I interviewed them and then put together kind of like a roadmap or an outline for what I think the overall format of kind of how people were kind of sharing their story and the value that they were bringing, and kind of a process, and created that outline, and then gave it to them to really kind of put in the meat and fill it in, and then put some polish on it, and then ran it through actually 2 editors, and wanted to make sure that we're putting out a really good product, and organized it in a way that there's absolute flow. And really the name kind of came up last, right? Because it really was kind of, it described what was happening, because everybody was using social media to grow their business in a different way, but everybody valued something differently and looked at things in a different way, and what was important. Because like mindset, right? Like, you think mindset's not important, man. Mindset's like the most important thing. And so you got to do that. You got to take care of your health. You got to do all these things to make it happen, because if you don't have one of them, you can't even maybe get the process started. And so, kind of putting that all together, and then you were introduced to us by Nolan, and really helped coordinate a successful book launch where online marketing, small business marketing, business etiquette first, and like all those categories. Forget all the other ones, but really putting together and getting everybody on a call, getting everybody pumped up, coordinating everything. I think really brought the team together, and brought that energy and focus together for us to, just as Nolan said, kind of like bringing all our superpowers together, focusing on one thing, and knocking it out of the park. I think was great. I enjoyed the energy. I enjoyed being part of it. And I think that I actually read, I don't know if I some of the people on the call know this, but I actually read 2 books on how to write a book before I wrote a book. and then like that's how big of a nerd I am, like, really. And so really putting together the understanding and the mechanics, and talking to some other people that have put together books, and kind of getting those tips, and then rolling it out. And we got it done. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited where we're going to take it next. So that was kind of the process, I think. Love to hear everybody else's experience. So,
hey, if I can point out something while before we go to the next person, because this is what I see, and I love what y'all are continuing to say, that everybody's working together. And Matt, you said there were things that I did not know and I wanted to learn. So I partnered with the people who were doing what I wanted to do. Right? That's huge. If there's anybody out there currently who's still thinking of writing their book, partner with somebody, put together that group project, because you bring more value. They say, 1 + 1 is 2, unless you know how to multiply. And when you put a synergy together, you definitely have that multiplication table, because there's way more value in this book than y'all are actually charging for it. So I just want to touch on that. Like, that was huge to me. You wanted to learn, so you partnered with the people that were doing it to put out an amazing product. Man, love it. Who's up next?
Well, I'll go. So, Billy called me every week complaining about how Matt put this thing together. So I don't know if Billy really felt. No, I'm just playing.
Come on, man. Under the bus. Matt, that did not happen.
Anybody that know me knows
way under the bus.
Half the stuff I say you don't even need to take serious. No, you know what? Matt made it so easy. Everybody has expectations, but I didn't really have any type of expectations of the process. I just expected what we were all going to put out to be phenomenal in the end, right? So it's like having a baby. You can't expect everything of what it has to have a baby, but when you raise a child and they're a good citizen of society and all of that good stuff, you kind of see what the end result was. So I felt like the other part is that, and Chris is not on here, and I hate to just keep putting, but with me, Matt, Billy, and Chris, like that's almost half of the people. Randall Chestnut was somebody that I was already following on Facebook, that he and I resonated. I didn't even know he was a part of this book. And until he showed up yesterday, I was like, oh my God, it's Randall. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for, like, it was that type of situation. But I knew what we would do is we would have the heart and the drive to make it good, not just from a monetary standpoint, hoping that the monetary standpoint would be the byproduct of the impact that we made, and the handful of people that I knew we would want to make a big impact. And that's why I would just put it in Matt's hands, and I just tell Matt was like, it's this much. I gave him the money, and then I was like, okay, Matt, what do we need to do next? It wasn't like, wait a minute, let me look over this, that, and the other, because I knew all of us would have the same type of mindset from that standpoint of what we would want to put out, the impact that we would want to make, and that this would be a seed to where we would want to go together. So
I think as nice as I've been to Nolan this whole call, he just totally come on, man. But I think that it's really funny though that Matt charged you.
Iron sharpens iron.
Wait. What you say, Billy?
I think it's funny that Matt charged you money to be part of the book when I don't know if that was the case for all of us. No, I'm kidding too, but
I know.
In all seriousness, I think that for the listeners out there, whether you want to write a book or you just enjoy reading books, I think one thing that Matt said is he called himself a nerd, which that's debatable. But I think one thing that he is onto is he reads, and he's smart because of the reading. And one thing that most of y'all know, I didn't graduate college. I went for a year. I got bored. I wanted to get into sales and business, and so I said, okay, well, if I'm gonna get ahead of the game and be a top 1% producer and successful, I've got to blow by these guys that are graduating. How do I do that? And I did it by reading. And so I've read, my goal was 20 books every year since I was 19. And I've hit that goal every year since. And it's just a bunch of other people's information that I've put together that's helped me figure out a couple things in life and business. And there's a lot of things I'm still working on, but the value to the reader is you get like 9 books in one with this. And I think that our price point that we're asking on Amazon it's ridiculously low. I mean, I think there's probably somebody out there that if they knew the information in this book, they'd write a $10,000 check for it, possibly more, because there's just that one nugget that you're looking for. I think all of us have said that at different times. Yep. If you look for that one nugget, it will make you more than the 10 grand. Over the course of a career, it could be substantially a lot more. If maybe it's that trajectory that just pivots you a little bit to the east when you were going a little bit too far to the west, and puts you back on that line. So if you'll visualize with me for a second, you guys have probably all seen this, but think about the two mountains, and there's the valley in between it, and it's got the bridge that looks kind of wobbly, and it's got the wooden planks on the bridge, and it's foggy, so you can't see to the other side. But you can see a plank, maybe a couple of planks ahead of you. And then each time you take a step, you see a little bit more and a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further, and until you get to the other side. You don't have to see the other side to be able to get there. All you've got to see is your next step and the next couple of steps in some cases. But I think that that's what we did. And we're all saying this in a kind of, agreement, where we didn't know this, but we had an idea. Frankly, Matt had an idea, and he said, okay, I like Nolan. He's awesome. Randall's got a huge following. Taylor. And so he said, okay, I want to pull all these guys together. And now here we are. And I think that from our perspective, you've heard us say it, we're just getting started. This isn't the end all be all. This isn't the end. And so for anybody listening, I think from a motivation perspective is it's just taking that first step. You know, you hear about people that get out of college or they're a senior in college. They say, oh man, I don't know what I want to do. My advice to them is like, just go do something, because it will get you to the next step. You're either going to learn, I don't like doing this, or I do like doing it. And as you get further into it, into the mortgage industry or the SEO industry, or for me, the insurance industry, those aren't necessarily like college majors that everybody talks about. But once you get into sales, oh man, I like sales. Oh, well, I kind of like finance. So I'm going to go a little bit further into it. Okay, well, I kind of like this or that, or the other. And it will take you one step visually through your career where you don't have to say, I'm going to be a venture capitalist that specializes in apartments in the Upper East Side Manhattan. You just say, I like sales. And then boom, that's step one. Step two, maybe you go work for Remax for a year, realize that you do or don't like it. And then you evolve, and then you learn a little bit more, your network grows. And then you have the leverage and the reach to be able to go tap Nolan Davis and say, hey, Nolan, I know you do this really well. I'm not good at it. Can you help me? And so on and so forth. So I say, just take one step. The confused mind does nothing, and take one step. It'll lead you to your next one. And I honor Matt for finding that first step for us, because it's helped us all, especially the readers.
Absolutely. That was very beautifully put. You could end it with the swig before we pass the microphone.
Yeah.
You want to take it to the head.
Mortgage
There you
Mac,
go.
it's all you.
I love Billy, man. I love Billy.
I was just waiting for permission. Thank you.
Well, that's all good stuff, gentlemen. And, you know, I've always said that the best experience in the world is someone else's.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is. And you know, and I think I'm just a product of, you know, whatever success I've ever had in my life, it's just a product of someone else's success. And, you know, and if ever I had that first step was maybe to find somebody that was doing what I wanted to do and just kind of hang on to their coattails, or even just in this situation, be fortunate enough to be associated with people that like Matt and Randall and Billy and certainly Freddie has been really just a fantastic friend to me for several years now. And, you know, and I used to do 140-mile triathlons for fun. And I can just tell you that, you know, those Ironman triathlons, you know, when I had the most success and when I had the best times is when, you know, I had a good coach, right? And I think that, you know, having a good coach and having mentors, and I think that having a mentor was, for me, my first step in this journey was finding a mentor and somebody that could inspire me and give me some practical actions to take that had real return on investment on a long-term basis. And so, yeah, you know, I just agree with what everybody else has said. And again, I think that, you know, for me, that first step was to find somebody that was doing what I wanted to do and go and introduce myself and, you know, and see if they would mentor me, and the rest is history.
Yes, sir. Hey, these are all some golden nuggets. One of the Miss Aaliyah Noble asked this question. Said collaborative writing can give you the opportunity to have more diversified content and voice. However, it can also have unique challenges. Curious to know what yours were and how you overcame them. So what were some of the challenges that you all had to overcome during this process? I know Matt had a huge one for a few months. So if we can touch on those.
Oh, I had a baby. Yeah, I mean, I had a baby. That really put a dent in everything. Everything went on hold for a minute. Is that the one you were talking about?
Wasn't there something else that you were battling?
No, I can tell you that I think that you know, I believe in like measuring twice, cutting once, and kind of putting a process together. I would say the biggest thing is I think coordination, right? Because you got a lot of busy people, and kind of trying to turn stuff around and getting stuff back, and just kind of, you know, you're all on kind of different timelines, right? And so I think just kind of coordination in general is something. When you add another person to it, it adds complexity, or any type of process. Every time you add one process to it, I forget the multiple intricacies that come along with it. But you know, I think, you know, also too, like this being a priority because everybody is kind of running businesses, right? Including myself. And then when COVID hit, like there was, things that took priority. So it was, really, I think, like why I like all these guys is they're self-starters and they have ideas and they bring those ideas to fruition. And it's really, I think, about having that mindset that, hey, this is something that you want to bring to life or have a baby. Like no one said it was have a baby. I had like 2 babies. I actually, with my last book, went to print on my first baby. And then this one, I was having the second baby and I was like, all right, guys, like this is the draft, right? And so, I think coordination is key. Organization is important, but really, I think that mindset of, hey, this is a process, this is a vision. I need to run it through to completion. I think that having other co-authors made it a priority, right? Because I was responsible to other people, not just myself. So I think that overall it wasn't bad. I think that you definitely helped me with a couple things with getting the right like there's a couple technical things there that you kind of helped walk through at the very end because we self-published it through Amazon, right? And so Amazon publishing is fantastic to work with, very responsive, great, but there's definitely some intricacies about getting a book out there and getting all the right, what is it, SSI, ISBN number and the ASIN number and all those sort of things. There's definitely a couple other little hurdles there of just technical stuff that you got to learn to put the book together. But I think overall, working with this team's been great. Everybody got back to me. Everybody finished out their chapter. Everybody, followed deadlines. And I think that speaks to the quality of people that participated in the book. So, yeah.
Hey, I want to add on to something. I hate to say that you forgot something, but you forgot something, Matt. So here's the thing. Everything that you said, 100%. But for me knowing you, I don't care if you came out with this book 2 or 3 years later, me giving you the money and going through the process, if you had a kid every year, I would hold on because of our relationship, right? So the relationship that we had made it much easier than I give you money and I'm expecting this didn't come at the right time. You see what I'm saying? Like you told me it was going to be on and now you had a baby. Like I didn't really care. So even if you just paid me back in lunches and said, Nolan, the book didn't happen. So how many lunches do I owe you? And just come by every second Thursday and have lunch. So it was a lot of the relationship. Especially, I didn't even know you knew Billy. Like Billy was one of my first dudes when I got here. That was really my dude. I introduced Billy to somebody that was in his wedding. To big shout out to Shoemaker. So Billy is really my man. 100 grand. So when I saw Billy was there, already loved Chris, was already fond of you. So I just knew it was going to happen at some point in time. So that relationship made it more not like a business thing, but a project that we could be proud of. So whenever it evolved, I knew it would be big, bad, and phenomenal, right? So for me, that's what it was for me. So I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that made it a lot smoother. And I mean, that's really where the idea came up is, and I think that in America, people, like our friends and might do business together. I don't know what it is, but I know like internationally, and I used to travel. I worked internationally. Really, people develop solid friendships through business, right? Because like if you think about who you work with or what you do on a daily basis, you're with those people either as much or more than your family, right? And so you gotta have people that you like. And yeah, I think that actually came down to it a lot. Is the relationship I had with all of you is like why I wanted to do it, and then, I knew when Billy realized you were involved, he had kind of the same reaction. And I think that, that speaks to kind of being a mover and a shaker in the Houston area, and also like whatever the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon kind of thing, where like, you know, like certain people that are going to be highly influential, you're gonna the webs are gonna cross, right? Like, you know, like it's kind of interesting to look on you know, Facebook, right, to see all the people that we know together that we might not have known, right? And it's like this huge web, and that was, you know, again, some of that vision to say like let's like canvas all of Houston, right? Like with all these influencers, you know, let's really make a footprint here of what we're going to do, because I think everybody has a ton of value, and I think, you know, one of the key things that everybody does is they want to give back and they want to help and they want to teach, and you know, I think that was kind of part of the thread of what I saw in everybody, and that's why I knew that they'd be receptive to ask, you know, so to be part of the book. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So it sounds like deadlines were the one thing that you had to stay consistent with, but it wasn't the deadlines that ran this specific project. It was the relationships, and that's what made and makes this book so special. So, one of the people who purchased the book yesterday said, "I love this. Collaborations definitely open new doors." Miss Maisha Barnett said, "I love this. Collaborations definitely open new doors."
Wait, who?
This book is going to help a lot of entrepreneurs and authors such as myself.
Wait, who said that?
Maisha Barnett. She was on the call yesterday.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I think she's in one of my other books as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, the Pivot Anthology. Okay, all right. Hey, big shout out to Maisha. I didn't even know she was tuning in. You know, the one thing that I do want to say is that I'm totally thankful, right? As we talk about the seed that that can grow from what we're doing, because I really see the rise of your personal brand conference type of thing. When I tell you I can make that happen lickety split. I see a whole situation of us coming together and even doing, you know, a week-to-week coaching. It's 9 of us, so a rotation of 9 weeks, right? I see what we can give from the stage. I know how to do it virtually, still from the stage though, right? And stream the whole thing live and I can do all of that. I promise you, these hands is pretty strong. So I'm telling you, we could do something big from that rise of the personal brand. Do you know how many business owners would want to know a piece, one nugget from each of us to implement within their business and go from there, right? Like just that whole situation alone, and with us having the heart to give, to make sure that we maximize, like Billy said, if our conference costs the same as somebody else's conference, but we figure out how to make it 10x impact on that whole situation, then we can, you know, rock and roll and go from there. So I'm telling you, I see all of that. And if all of us do a little, just like with this book, the impact it and just let me run the ball, coach, I promise you, we'll kill it. So
we're doing that. I mean, we have to do that. I think that it's our duty, our responsibility to not only the readers that did read the book, but people that would want to, that don't know that it exists, to market it to them, to catch them in person. I'm a live event junkie. I went to conferences and business stuff and spent tons of money and time traveling, East Coast, West Coast, all that. It's fun. And I think that there's a huge audience out there. We can do it virtually, in person, whatever, depending on the timing. But I think that it's our next step to facilitate that. And if we could have, you know, breakout sessions, different people from the stage, things like that, there's such a demand out there. What business doesn't want to brand, market, and sell better? And then what individual, whether it's an attorney, a real estate agent, CPA, which technically are usually not that good at selling, they know that they need things like this.
Right.
The demand is out there. The team has been assembled, and I think that we can bring it to a level where it's just a no-brainer, where it's the best investment somebody can make for their branding, whether it's in 2021, early or late. Anybody that's listening, follow Nolan Davis on Facebook and make sure that we hold him accountable, because I don't know how to put it all together, but I guarantee you I'll be on stage with a message that will move the masses. And the other folks, Matt, Kalik is not here. He's got a huge influence. Taylor can do the same thing. Randall, all of the authors that aren't here, I think would second me in saying something similar.
Yeah. And one thing I love about what y'all just did, and I'm looking forward to the conference too. I just want to, hopefully I get a chance to get VIP admission on a discount. We'll talk about that later. But one of the things that is possible from any book is the ability to create different income streams. And it sounds like y'all are but y'all have leveraged each of your personal brands, which is why The Rise of the Personal Brand is a book for every entrepreneur to go and grab. If you are just starting out, a lot of new entrepreneurs started during COVID. So if you're just starting out, if you've been in business for a while, if you're struggling with sales, if you're struggling with SEO, if you're struggling with connection, if you're struggling learning the different advertising and marketing and branding yourself, The Rise of the Personal Brand is the book that you need to go and grab. So I certainly vouch for it. I kind of had the pleasure of skimming through as we were working on those last few steps. And I can say it is definitely a book worth reading over and over and over and over again. It's probably going to be that next Think and Grow Rich. Absolutely. It's going to be the next Think and Grow Rich that people refer back to and refer back to and refer back to. And you'll see a lot of thousandaires and millionaires made after reading this book. So I'm excited and have had it's been a pleasure working with you guys. Did y'all want to leave the viewers with one last nugget?
Hold on, before we get to the last nugget, I just want to let y'all know the powerhouse of what we have. You may think Billy threw me up under the bus, but I'm gonna tell you, anytime I call Billy come. I don't care if I ain't talked to Billy in a year. I say, Billy, I need you. He say, what do you need me to do? So him doing that is just like, as brothers, do what they do, and we take care of everything. He knows that I'm gonna take care of it. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Billy, for always being there since Perfect Gentleman, since TPG. From the first time I called him, he's never let me down. Second thing I want to say is this conference, for people that's watching right now, I need you to understand all of us started from the dirt, meaning the foundation, right? Like, I want you to realize everybody built their brand organically, no tips, no tricks, like I started my video production company with $100. Like I know where Chris started. I know where Billy started. I remember when, like I said, I know Billy's cookbook. Right? Y'all don't even know nothing about Billy's cookbook, right? So it's a whole bunch of stuff that we've done, that we've organically found our niche. So whatever level you are in business, this conference would have something for you. Do you know how huge that is? How many conferences, Billy, have you been to when somebody's on there and you're like, oh, all of this was under me, or all of this is over my head and you're reaching too hard or you can't get there? We'll have something on every level, and that's what's going to make us different, because we want to make an impact and we want to show people how they can start from the ground floor. So I just wanted to say that. So that could be my last words. I don't have to talk again. Nolan Davis. The next thing that I have Bio Boot Camp coming up. Bio Boot Camp is awesome and amazing, but go to Nolan Davis, NOLENDAVIS.com, and you can fill out a form and know when the next time Bio Boot Camp is coming up, all of that good stuff, and when we're going to do this conference. And that's it for me.
I'll go ahead and pop in since that addressed a couple of things. Yeah, it was absolutely not a under the bus throw, because right. I know that Nolan will do it, and he's got the capability, the staff, and the resources to be able to figure out how to put it together. And so it is a challenge. It is a public call out challenge, but it's one that I know that you can and will do. And frankly, I need you to do it because I need to be there and I want to be there. We all have a great special message and a discipline that we can share with the masses. And like I said, it's the onus is on us to make that happen. If we fall short, we do our readers a disservice, and we're not about that. And so, Billy Bray, I'll leave with gratitude to the group. Sugar Ray, certainly Mortgage Mac, I look forward to seeing you again. It's been some time. Matt, thank you for the leadership here. Nolan, it's always a good time. You see me and Nolan, we have this relationship where it's blind trust. And that's the way that him and I communicate, correlate, and respond to each other. When it's a, hey, I need you, boom, no questions asked. And I think that Sugar Ray asked something about challenges from one of the readers. And to Matt's point, like, I'll speak for myself, but I didn't care when the book got done. We had a goal, we had a timeline, but I've got a book I started 1.5 years ago that's not done. And who's getting in the way of that? Me. I understand that things happen and things get slowed down, but what I will tell you is from start to publication to launch to bestseller, this was rapid. This was rapid. And I don't know too many other people that could have made that happen without the leadership of Matt. So really appreciate that. Honored and humbled to be part of the opportunity. But I think for the viewership, I will also say, look out for us. You can find me, Billy Bray, that's Bray, on Facebook and LinkedIn. Outsourced RM, like outsourceriskmanagers.com. That's my company. We help companies get better insurance. I give free advice to anybody that's listening that wants to sign up for a free consultation on that website. Whether you become a client or not, I would certainly be happy to talk to you. As far as folks that are reading the book in relationship to sales, business development, and growth, I would say the one thing to remember is value. If your value is higher than your price, you will make lots of sales. So find a way. That's what I used to tell my sales reps. The magic, if you don't have it already outlined for you with the company you work for, whether it's Xerox or whatever, the magic is figuring out how to do that. The reason you get paid when you create value and create sales is because, frankly, it's hard to do. But once you figure that out, then you can continue to do that. So the magic is creating your own value. And if you work at a company where your value proposition is whatever it is, figure out how you can build your own brand internally of that large organization, have your small business inside of a big major brand and say, the major brand does all of these things, but when you work with me and my team, we also provide these things. And you hit them with a list of 5 or 6 extra value added services, and you're no longer competing on price. I think about bankers as well. You know, you're not competing on price, you're competing on value. So go build your value, and I'll pass it over. Mortgage Mac.
Great. Billy, I just want to echo what you said in reference to Matt being the driving force behind all of this. And I just got to be honest, I just didn't, when Matt, approached me about this, I just didn't quite see the value in it. But, having been here today and collaborating with you guys, it's just like, I get that kind of, those goosebumps that Billy mentioned earlier. And since COVID-19, I'm being a mortgage banker, I've been working from home since March, and you just don't get out like you used to. And this has just really been sort of a breath of fresh air for me. And so I just have to say thank you, gentlemen, for today. And thank you again, Matt, for being the driving force and compelling me to participate in this activity.
Well, awesome. No, I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. That's why I invited you to be part of it. I don't want to work with people I don't like, right? And I'm in a place in my life that if I don't like you, I don't have to work with you. That's really a great place to be. So I wake up every day and enjoy what I do. We give away a lot of free value. BestSEOpodcast.com. Chris and I do a podcast almost every week about that. We have over 500 episodes. It's been going for 10 years. Chris started it. I'm honored to be a co-host on that, and we've been able to grow that podcast. So anything internet marketing, we give away a ton of value there. The reason I wrote the first book, the reason I wrote this book is it's at a price point that you can get access to these people and get value from them without maybe one-on-one coaching. Like, so really, we have a pretty robust consulting business for digital marketing and small, medium-sized businesses that we work with that lead into the strategy, into whatever we would do with them. But time's the most important thing all of us have. That's the thing that we need to be most efficient with. And I think that you're at different stages in your business. You need different things. Some people need one-on-one. Some people can get a lot out of a book. Some people want turnkey, do it for you, right? So there's different things to look out there. But the thing that has to happen for anything to happen, I love how Billy said that. My mom was one of the first salespeople at Microsoft. And so she said, nothing happens until something gets sold. You said that on the call yesterday. And I think it's absolutely true. But I also think even pre that, before something gets sold, it's kind of that, you got to know how much someone cares before like what they know kind of thing. And I think connection, there's actually so much science behind connection and how to build that connection and how you need to be completely genuine. And in today's world, you have to be. You can't have one social media profile that's your personal and then one that's business. Like everything's getting mixed together. And so people connect with people, people do business with people, and relationship is the absolute most important thing. And how to build that connection and how to share with what you have that's special and offer that to people and connect with them is what kind of sparks the whole thing and gets it all started. And, that's what my chapter was about. And that's, what I would encourage everybody to do to build their personal brand and build their business, do it through meaningful relationships. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you can see, these gentlemen are passionate about what they do. They're passionate about the information that they share, and they are sharing from the heart. The book is The Rise of the Personal Brand, or Rise of the Personal Brand. Make sure you go and grab your copy. And if you know any of these gentlemen personally, grab your copy directly from them, and look forward to that conference coming. So we not throwing Nolan under the bus. We putting that system of accountability in place that the world now knows that Rise of the Personal Brand Conference is coming to a city video channel chat streaming platform near you.
Yeah.
Right. And one thing I like to do, gentlemen, at the end of every show is I love to, if there's anybody watching, I actually have a few copies of the book, few digital copies of the book. And I would love to, if you just type book in the comments. If you're in a watch party, I cannot see it. So go ahead and move over to the live video, put in book, and I'll send you we'll get together after this call and you'll get a copy of the book. And I did get Matt's permission yesterday before doing it. All right. And the next thing is, the first person within the next 30 seconds to comment cash will actually receive a free $25 Cash App. And that's Cash App. You on the call, man. Matt was like, cash.
Like, are you serious, dude? Are you serious? Hey, I see Diana Patterson put in book.
Yeah.
We got a couple of people, but I think Diana Patterson is actually one of the people that we're going to be using to kind of promote the book. She's a producer of the Cam Hill Show. I was just on the Cam Hill Show just a couple of weeks ago. And so her and I and the Cam Hill Show, we real tight. We have big love for Cam Hill. He put me on the show whenever. So we definitely want to have Diana Patterson get the book. Trust me when I tell you that. And it looks like Aaliyah Noble said book and cash is what it looks like. Yeah.
She won. She got it in. Aaliyah actually got the cash in about 2 seconds prior to the next person.
Yeah.
So I will be getting with these ladies after the call and actually go ahead and get the book and the Cash App to you.
Awesome.
So, gentlemen, once again, thank y'all for being with me today. Thank y'all for the opportunity to work with.
Thanks, everyone.
Get
Have
there.
a great Sunday, everyone.
Yes, sir.
All
Again,
right.
the book is Rise of the Personal Brand. Make sure you grab your copy today. Love you guys.
Take care.
Love y'all.
See you guys.
All right, Billy.
Yeah, it's off Facebook.
All right, cool. Dude, hey, Billy, you still there?
Hey, I thought I'd hang back and see if, yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, I'm telling you, man, this conference, I was already thinking this the other day. I'm thinking there's a couple of different ways we could do this conference to where each one of us, look at my man over here, he climbing, to where each one of us could literally create our audience, right? Build our individual brands and have like either coaching and or one of those virtual classroom, like master class type situations on what we do. And if we just started right here in Texas, see, the thing that I have is that my second Guinness was canceled, but I got all of these contacts of big places that hold 300 to 1,000 people. So if we wanted to take the stage, if we wanted to get vendors involved, if we wanted to do any of that, we could do it. I could bring the video, we could stream it. Dude, I can make things happen. You already know, right?
Oh yeah, no, I already know. I mean, I've been to enough of these conferences from just an audience perspective, and somebody that buys the stuff. The guy on stage says something that sounds cool. Yeah, okay, I'll spend 1,000 with you. The next person comes up. Okay, cool. I'll spend 1,000 with you too. Hey, that's the investments that I've made, and those have been some of the best investments of my life. And spending $1,000 after hearing somebody talk for an hour is kind of like, ugh. Like a lot of people wouldn't do that. But and maybe maybe we have different price points, but if we each develop our after conference deal, whether it's coaching, whether it's a product, whether it's a program, pre-recorded, in person, whatever, then when you get done with your 50 minutes of talking, then you can pitch your product for 10 minutes or whatever. I'm not going to pitch insurance, but I might pitch the some sales coaching or something like that. So there's a way to do it. I think the guys that missed this today, with the exception of Freddie G, he's a little bit sick. He's up in bed. He's got a stomach issue. So our thoughts and prayers are with him, but I've been in touch with his soon to be wife. He's okay, but just not so hot. So, but I think that everybody else needs to get, on board with this, but with the leadership of the guys that were on the call today, there's no reason why we shouldn't make it happen and go ahead and move on this rapidly. I think that a lot of the stuff we probably already have in our heads. We just need to put it down into a program or onto paper.
Yep. I'm thinking it's not even a situation of making it really a hard situation. It's not even we're not at a place where we got to start from scratch. If we just kind of put some bullet points together, see how each one could mesh in, then break it down, create the video, create the worksheets. Everybody has their own thing. We could say, hey, if you guys want to buy the whole thing, or if you want to do monthly payments, or if you just want to do this one a la carte, and you pick and choose depending on where you are, because everybody's going to be at a different place from that standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, so we got Eric Worre. He just put his thing out there for 10 grand, right? I was on this thing. Yeah, I've been on this thing all weekend because, I make most of my money through network marketing. So I was on Eric Worre's thing. This dude got a whole full court press, but for like $10,000, right? And it's cats they coming in $1,000 a month, but he it's a collaborative effort with all of his other people. Like, so you get this system, you get that system, and it's $34,000 worth of stuff of what he says that if you bundle it together, it's 10 grand and all of that good stuff. So
it's the whole Russell Brunson. Here's a crap load of value, and if I sold it a la carte retail, it's $2,000 or $3,000 a piece. But then you get it all at once, and you discount it substantially. And 10's still high. That's not a massive. Those people must be making some serious money if he's pitching that. But I'm thinking that in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of guys that do conferences. We could figure out how to make it happen in the details. But I'm glad that we have the idea. And not to not to suppress that, but Sugar Ray, I sent you a message on Facebook, man. I've never met you. I want to connect.
Yeah, I sent you a reply.
Okay, good. I haven't been on my phone for that hour and a half because we've been on the call. So cool. Yeah, I'll check it out. I've got another book that's stuck that I want to sidebar with you and maybe get some help on.
Yeah, let's talk. That's what I actually do, is teach people how to finish the book. And also, y'all touched on it, is how to create those different income streams. But
right.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Even if you see what we've done, if we tell our story of how we got to where we are, and we bring Shug in to say from a book standpoint, this is how you collaborate and do a launch.
Oh yeah.
And this is how you do a conference with that whole situation. Dude, we could do exactly what we just did and just map it out and sell that and be King Kong on stage rocking mics for everybody who want to come in the door. Simple.
Because that's what people want to do. You look at people like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone. Everybody, I mean, a huge, massive amount of people really like those guys. And a small percentage of them are like, dude, I could do the same shit and probably do it better than you. So if we build out a program that says, here's how you get a following, which Nolan, obviously you're a master of. Here's how you write a book in collaboration to access everybody's network. Instead of having access to 100,000 people, you got access to 1 million people
right
in this network, so on and so forth, and build it out. And then how to monetize the actual conference itself and then go on tour. Then, I mean, that holds great value. There's a lot of work to be done in that, but I mean, best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today, right?
Exactly. But the biggest thing, though, this is what I want you to understand. Everything that I talk about, I've done. You see what I'm saying? See, so many people talk about this and they talk about that. My biggest book, Momentum Marketing, is coming next year, but it's all of these marketing things that I've done. People are saying, hey, why not break a Guinness World Record? But you don't even have a Guinness World Record. I got one. So when I tell you how to infuse it with what you're already doing, I already got it. You see what I'm saying? So that adds so much validity because all of these people that are masterminds at coming up with great ideas for other people, half of that shit, they ain't even done it, dude. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you say this is what we've done and you can truly see the rise of our brands and we can help you jumpstart from that standpoint, and then here's how you can collaborate with other people, then here's how you can put the book out there and